What the hell is that? I saw you a moment ago. You're back. I was looking through the curtains, and I didn't... Turn around the other way. There's nothing, and now... What do you call that?
Plaid madness.
From the late Emmett Kelly estate, I suppose? Were you in a good mood tonight?
Yeah.
I know it's a holiday season. I don't want to be disrespectful, but it starts too early. Yeah. Remember, the Christmas season was supposed to start when? After Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Now it starts like what? November the 15th or something?
Yeah.
It's now what, December the 7th?
Yeah.
I'm already had it with the holidays. I have. I feel like I kicked the little drummer boy and he was a rumpa-pum-pum. Have you been watching the Christmas specials? Yeah. They start early. I think my least favorite this year was Wilford Brimley's Oat Bran Yule Log Christmas. You know what? Being from the Midwest, it is difficult to get in the holiday spirit in California when it's 80 degrees. If you walk down on Hollywood Boulevard and see the sidewalk Santas, I mean, little satin red shorts.
Yeah.
And they don't even go ho, ho, ho. They go hi, hi, hi. And I went Christmas shopping today.
Oh, really?
What?
Oh, really?
Yes. Well, I was in the mall yesterday. I was in the mall yesterday at the Galleria out here in the valley. And today I went on Rodeo Drive. Now, you ever shop on Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills? And go into some of those shops like Gucci's? They've got an attitude problem in there. I said to one of the Gucci salesmen, what have you got for a man with my build? And he said, pity. Let's see, in Beverly Hills, they're also having the annual charity drive. T-bills for tots. More people have asked me about you the past couple of days because of the announcement you made the other night during the parade. Ed's getting married again, as you know. Yeah. I don't want to be picky, but I thought the proposal lacked a little romance. Ed got down on his knees and said, congratulations, you may already be Mrs. McMahon. And now I suppose it's wedding gift time again, right? For those of you who are wondering what to get Ed, his pattern is registered at the liquor barn. Okay, what else is going on? Strange item in the USA paper today. Baseball fans, have you seen some of the new contracts that some of the ball players are getting? Apparently they took a bowl. They do that at Christmas. Sometimes they take a Christmas bowl rather than a poll. They took a poll, and baseball fans were outraged at the salaries that the players are getting. Me too. I don't think any man should get millions for working half a year. We're having problems in California with what they call the medfly infestation. They keep spraying malathion, and they keep finding these flies. They found 8 pregnant female medflies, the other day, and they're bringing in 30 million sterile medflies from Mexico later this week. The reason the holdup is that it takes a little time to prepare those 30 million tiny little green cards. There was an incident you may not have heard of at the Duran-Leonard fight tonight in Vegas. Apparently, a crop duster strafed Don King with a dippity-doo. You know, it just occurred to me that 48 years ago, today, right? No matter what George Bush says, December 7th. The attack on Pearl Harbor. Yeah, we finally outsmarted the Japanese, though. We let them buy the whole country so they'll never attack us again. How many of you are old enough to remember Franklin Roosevelt's stirring speech to Congress the day after the Pearl Harbor attack? When he said, A date that will live in infamy, right?
Right.
Now, imagine if Bush had been president. Not going to comment? Too soon to tell? Wouldn't be prudent? A little sad news in television, maybe not so sad. The television show Mr. Belvedere was canceled. You ever watch that show? May not mean much to you, but now I think it's a way for the Dodgers to pick up Bob Uecker as a free agent. Okay, tonight, you're in a good mood. We got a good show. Mr. Paul Reiser is here. Very funny gentleman. Funny comedian Argus Hamilton is with us. And a young lady. A young actress whom I've not met. Her name is... The words are coming out lying in state tonight, aren't they?
Yeah,
they just come...
You're doing great, Johnny.
What?
Oh.
You're doing just great. Nobody garbles like you do.
It is. It's closer to Christmas than I thought. The young lady's name is Maggie... not Mackie. Her name is Maggie Jakobson. She's with us tonight, too. So stay where you are. We'll be back.
Thank you, good doctor, and the NBC orchestra. The biggest movement in television today is toward informational programming. Several cable networks provide 24 hours of news a day. Obviously, TV news is here to stay. Let's take a look at what a typical newscast might look like in the future, 20 years from today.
December 7th, 2009. It's the evening news with Zontar Reiser.
Good evening. Good evening from the polluted oceans to the radioactive mountains to all the United States. Here is the news. After years of trying to streamline mail service, the government gave up today and nuked the post office. There has been no noticeable change in service. The last American-owned movie studio was sold today as the FCC approved Fujifilm's takeover of Paramount Pictures. And now let's take a look at the top 5 box office hits this past week. Star Trek X, The Search for Mothra, When Harry Met Rodan, Ghidra Goes Hawaiian, Look Who's Godzilla, and at number 1, Bob and Carol and Ted and Megalon. The IRS has once again simplified the tax code. Starting next year, they're going to send around a very large person named Vito on alternate Fridays who will beat the hell out of you and take your paycheck. Here's some tragic news. Beloved cereal spokesman Snap, Crackle, and Pop Shafarsky were found dead this morning at the home for retired commercial spokesman in Teaneck, New Jersey. According to police, an argument broke out over who stayed crispier in milk. An enraged Crackle bludgeoned Snap and Pop to death before turning the spoon on himself. After 17 years, the billion-dollar atomic super collider has provided some startling results. This morning, scientists sent a stream of charged alpha particles down a 10-mile tunnel into a brick of Velveeta at twice the speed of light and succeeded in turning it into cheese. Unfortunately, we have no picture of that, which may have helped. Prompted by jammed airports, crowding of the skies, and delays in parking and luggage retrieval, the airlines have developed a speedy new means of transporting passengers between America's airports in half the current time. The new vehicle will be called a bus. And there we do have a picture. Jane Pauley will be here later, discussing the breakup of her first marriage. After the divorce, she wed California angel Wally Joyner, then divorced him for Howdy Doody, then Muhammad Ali, and singer Morris Day. That's an interview later with Polly Wally Doody Alley Day, right after the news. The network ratings are in, and the winner once again was NBC's Cosby Show, now in its 26th season. When asked if the show would go another year, star Bill Cosby announced, 27 years. Only a crazed, insane lunatic would stay on the same show for 27 years. Friends of our 42nd president, Reverend Jerry Falwell, gathered today in Virginia to officially open the new Falwell Presidential Library, where every book is carefully read, deemed obscene, and set on fire by the ex-president himself. We have a picture of that, so that's that. Some sad news on the ecological front. Today in Wyoming, the last known bear did something all natural in the last known woods. We have no picture. A Mr. Zeb Pish of Bath Puddle, West Virginia, passed away in his sleep Friday night. Mr. Pish, 89, was the last person in the United States who was really pleased with his cable TV service. We have no picture of that. The sports world was stunned by last night's NFL game between the New York Giants and the Washington Redskins at the Meadowlands. Just when it appeared the Redskins were about to win with a last-second field goal, former Teamster boss Jimmy Hoffa climbed out of the concrete in the end zone and blocked the kick. And again, another sad note. Lovable grump Andy Rooney of 60 Minutes fame passed away today after choking on a piece of steak at a Manhattan night spot. The veteran newsman and humorist was 90 years old. And his last words were, "Did you ever notice I'm turning really blue?" 84-year-old talk show host Johnny Carson celebrated his 22nd wedding anniversary recently to his wife, Alex. Mr. Carson has the longest-running, happiest marriage in show business and is damn proud of it. CBS's Dan Rather, this newscaster's father, is trying a new sign-off. After reading the nightly news in a turtleneck sweater, standing up and sitting behind a typewriter, the veteran newsman says he's finally found a look that makes him happy.
Dan Rather for the CBS is to use. See you tomorrow.
And that's the news. This is Zontar Rather saying good night and good luck. I feel like a Jehovah's Witness. I can't get in. All right. Oh, we're back.
We're back.
Okay. Certainly hope you're having as much fun at home as we are here in the studio. You all know my first guest. Well, maybe you don't all know my first guest. You should. He's one of the co-stars of the NBC comedy series My Two Dads, which airs Wednesday nights at 9:30, and he's a very funny guy. Would you welcome Mr. Paul Reiser? Good to see you again.
Nice to see you,
And
sir.
I owe an apology because the last time you were here, I think we ran real long one night.
Yes.
And you didn't get on, and I don't like to do that.
I've forgiven you. I've worked it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all right with it.
But, you know, it's funny because, as an entertainer, you get kind of keyed up. You get the adrenaline going, ready to come on, and all of a sudden, it's not there.
But that happens. That happens. So you know what I'll do is tonight I'll just stay extra long. I'll do like 90 minutes.
Even after we go off the air?
Way off the air.
You stay here
right until Letterman. I'll still be going.
Go for Letterman. How
Check
you
it out
been?
my next time.
It's been a while since we've seen you.
Yeah, I was here a couple of months ago, and we've been churning out shows.
Yeah.
Churning out those My Two Dads.
Now, are you currently on what they call Hiatus or what? I don't know how far you tape ahead.
No, we're in the middle of our season. We had a couple weeks off for for Thanksgiving, and so I thought, gee, I could take time off, but no. So I was working. I was out on the road doing
Clubs and stuff?
doing
Concerts?
clubs, telling jokes to people I didn't even know.
Yeah.
I didn't even know these people, and I just told, yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I mean, it's
Some
nice
people
to get
love
out.
the Jay Leno, for example, loves to go on the road, plays a couple of hundred and some dates a year.
Yeah. No, I've never really done it that much. I mean, I love when I get a chance to, the working is fun.
Yeah.
You know, they always say, I don't know who said it years ago, but performers work for nothing and they just get paid to hang out in airports and fly on planes. That's what that's the hard part of it. And I mean, I don't have any fear of flying. I love it. My fear is being trapped next to somebody in a plane who wants to talk for 4 hours. I get these chatting people. They're people who they talk to you and they talk about nothing and they just go on and on. He says, well, with prices the way they are today, I don't have to tell you. I said, good, then talk to somebody else. As long as you're not legally bound to tell me, move along. And people will go on, and it's my fault because I don't know how to return the conversational ball. They'll ask you, I get stymied by simple questions. The guy says to me, he says, is it going to rain today? And I think like I should know that. And I feel bad that I don't know that. I said, well, I couldn't tell you. Why don't you ask somebody else? Like, wouldn't he be scared if I did know? Wouldn't that be frightening? Yeah. You're sitting next to the guy who knows when it rains. It's like, 3:30 to 3:45. Keep it to yourself. And by the way, that car trip you're taking next week, don't do it. I just feel crazy about you. And then, see, there are people who can do it. Anybody can sit here.
Oh, no, I'm not particularly good on a plane with strangers. No. If you get trapped in that nothing conversation.
Exactly. But
guy says, great day to fly. Good day.
But these are the same kind of people who I think, just because you're sitting next to each other, you should be friends. This is the same people who on the road will honk their horn because they have the same car, That's like that's a base of a very solid friendship. You're driving, hey, Chevy.
This somehow binds you together, right?
We'll keep in touch. We'll correspond over the years. You bet, pal. Our kids will grow up together. It'll be a beautiful thing. But people, you'll just get into a normal conversation, and then you realize you feel bad because you don't know how to return it. The guy said to me, where you from, blah, 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 we're talking. I said, what do you do for a living?
Good. That's good.
That was good. All right? So he said, he said to me, I manufacture ball bearings. That's what, it's a fine job. He manufactures ball bearings. Then I'm thinking, what do I say now? If somebody said to you, what is a possible keep that conversation alive statement? Yeah. You know what I came up with? I said, oh, really, the round ones or what? That's all I had.
That's good. Good.
I mean, how much is there about ball bearings?
Is this seasonal work? Might it work? Is this seasonal? I have no idea.
That's good. That's because you get into conversations that you realize you're way over your head. I mean, simple thing, like, even like the news and current events, you don't want to say you don't know. So people say, you kind of get in, the guy says, well, how about what's going on in Europe? I go, wow, isn't that something?
Good.
Then they get specific. He says, well, what do you think of what's going on in Berlin? I said, Berlin, specifically Berlin? What do I think? I don't really know what's going on in Europe. I lied. I don't know Europe. I shouldn't be in this conversation. I know they knocked down a wall. They're putting in a guest room or something. They're doing something. I don't know exactly. But it's like, people say, did you see this movie? You see that movie? And you don't want to say no. You go, oh, yeah, I saw that. And they go, a lot of times you didn't see the movie, You saw it on cable. You see a movie on cable, you saw 2 scenes every day for a month. That's all, you saw the same scene. So you kind of know what the movie's about, you know what it roughly looks like, but you shouldn't be talking about it. That's the problem. So the guy says, oh, you saw it? You remember that scene where the guy walks in and the thing explodes? And you go, not that scene specific. No, I don't remember that. Go, how about when she comes home and her husband's with the other woman? No, I don't remember that. But you saw the movie? No, on cable. I saw it on cable. I shouldn't have been in this conversation. My fault again. I just... Well, you know what you do? There are tricks. There are certain little phrases that you learn that you just drop them in, and people think that you're listening. People think that you know what you're talking about. Just every time the conversation drops, you go, hey, if it's not one thing, it's another. Boom, you're in. That's good. That's good. And there's a whole chain of them. Just go, well, it's the same all over. Or you go, well, that's crazy what's going on. Or my personal favorite, well, just look at the Japanese. Boom, you're in for a half an hour. Mention it. I don't even know if that's good or bad. If it's admiring, you just mention another culture, you're in for half an hour. There are people who do this for an entire conversation. You just string them together, and it sounds like you're an intelligent person. You go, well, you kidding? It's the same all over. Look what's going on all over the world. Everybody's different. It used to be different. Today, it's the same. Everybody's crazy. Look at the Japanese. Boom. It's a
whole conversation. You said absolutely nothing.
Right. You don't have to sit near anybody. You can fly alone.
That's another way to look at it. Yes. There are 2 sides to that.
Exactly.
What 2 sides? Who cares?
What can you do? It's different.
We'll be back. Who means that? We know that. Be careful. Anyway, we're talking with Paul Reiser about traveling and the people you run into. You know what I get if I travel a lot? People will say, who's that guy you had on the show a couple of weeks ago? Something like that. And I said, what guy? You know, the brown-haired guy. And you're trying to help. I said, you mean Paul Reiser? No, not him. And then you give him a list. And you play guessing games for an hour.
Well, it's worse when they do it to you yourself. And they go, I know you from somewhere. And you go, yeah, Paul Reiser, my two dads. No. All right, let's try this. Carl Malden. No, it's not it. I'm trying to keep. But the people who will start what you know is going to be the longest story. You're sitting on a plane, and the guy, you know it's going to be long when you hear the phrase, to make a long story short. Forget it. That's way too late.
Yeah.
They only said it because you started dozing off on their chest. You were leaning over. There are some people who can literally not make any story short. They start way before the story, and they go back to their birth. They just bring you up to date. They tell you things that have nothing to do with the story. A guy had a simple question. A guy had a Band-Aid on his face. I said, what'd you do, cut yourself shaving? He said, I was having breakfast. I go, here we go. He's having breakfast, and then he's got to first shower and shave, take out the razor. I don't have that kind of time. It's 3 hours, you know. It's explaining. And people who are enormously dull, they know it. You know, there's a certain point in their life, they realize they're a dull person. They're a dull person. What they do is, they poke you. People will talk to you. So anyway, and they just annoy you, and they poke you and tap you, and you just want to deck them. It's just so anyway.
And I'm one of those people who does not like.
Oh, I know. I thought of that halfway into the poke.
No, there are a lot of people who do this. They'll actually, do this. I got to tell you this. You know what I mean? Well, they watch you all the time.
Well, they lean. You get the leaners. They lean on your arm. They just kind of go. Actually, the more dull the story, the harder they lean. Because what they're doing is keeping you from fleeing. That's their whole thing. Because they know it's uninteresting. They go, so we moved all our savings to a CD. And you go, you broke my arm. Look at it. That's how dull that is. You broke my arm.
That's to keep you there under control.
But they want to explain. The only time I do it, I find I explain things to strangers when I want something. Then I explain way more than I have to. Like if you get something done, I always feel like if I don't have a good reason, I won't get what I want. I mean, if I go to, get change, I'll say, can I get 4 quarters, please? I plan to buy gum. He doesn't want to know that. Just tell him. I walk into a crowded elevator. Could you press 7, please? Having lunch with a friend. He didn't ask me. Probably Chinese food. He didn't ask me, but I feel the need.
Over-explaining.
Why? I don't know. Many things I don't know.
So you're on the road long, doing clubs and concerts, or what?
I go out a couple of days when I can between the shows.
Now, that's late night stuff. Now you come back and you do a TV show. You're back in a completely different schedule.
Yeah.
Quieter, daytime, early morning stuff.
Yeah, it's like normal life, which is, I'm not a morning person. I mean, I don't like, see, I said, where every day goes wrong? There's a moment in every morning where the whole day just starts to go off track. When you get out of bed, it's usually good. You're happy to be awake and you're okay. Then you walk into the bathroom, you turn on the lights, and you look in the mirror. That's your first mistake. Nobody looks in the mirror and is ever happy. I mean, it's always a disappointment. No matter who you are, you just look in the mirror and you go, that's not what I was hoping for. No. I could have sworn I was better looking. Gee. Because nobody ever looks in the mirror and goes, that's about right. They always start fixing. They just move their hair and they start tucking in their cheeks and they go, nah, that's not working either. So then you go in the shower and you do the best you can and, you comb your hair, you come out, you put clothes on, you look in the mirror again and you go, no, that's still not working. No. Who was I thinking of that's better looking than this? It's somebody. Yeah. There's something that happens when you sleep, scientifically, with your face. So while you sleep, you go to bed normal, you wake up, you have no face. The features have gone away while you sleep. I think, actually what happens is, while the moon comes over here, your features will go to Europe and work on European faces. So they can go to work and not be embarrassed, look like Mr. Potato Head. They come in, if you wake up too early, your face is not back. So this is all documented.
No, I know, of course it is.
I'm not just making this up.
This is scientifically, I'm with you, yeah. Gravity takes over, something.
And so because you know why I think you look disgusting in the morning? It's because nature intends us. It keeps you humble. It keeps you humble because at night you're thinking of your problems, you're thinking of yourself, and you're thinking, hey, how come this didn't work out? How come I'm going to bed? How come I'm miserable? How come I'm alone? You wake up, you look in the mirror, you go, that's why.
That's why.
So look at you. You have no facial features, and you have little fire trucks on your pajamas. Get a grip on yourself. And you see it in that light, and it keeps.
A little fire trucks on your pajamas.
You don't?
You're not out of that stage yet, huh? Yeah.
No, the fire trucks are getting bigger. You know.
How's the family? You've got the kids? Right?
No kids. We're still playing with the puppy.
Yeah.
Well, it's good because you want to keep. I don't mean playing in a cigarette. You know what I'm saying. No, you have to be ready. You have to know things to have kids, I think. You have to have answers, because kids will ask you things, and you go, I don't know, why don't you just keep to yourself, and I'll come back to you as soon as I know things. I don't know a lot. I don't know. I mean, I don't know simple things. Like, I don't know when I'm going to learn myself that when you go to buy, you go to rent videotapes.
Right.
It always costs you a lot more than you thought going in. You have a big sign, 99 cents. You go, it's $1. It's nothing.
Right.
So we'll get 2, we'll get 3, we'll get 5. It's $5. We'll get 5 movies. Do you know how long it takes you to watch 5 movies? A year and a half. Yeah. It takes you a year and a half. You come back a year and a half later and you just paid $1,400 to watch RoboCop. I go, I just wanted to watch a movie. A lot of things I don't know. I don't know what Martinizing is. Martinizing?
What's Martinizing?
I don't know.
Well, that's outside the...
Dry cleaners.
Dry cleaners.
I don't know what it is, though.
1 hour Martinizing.
Yeah, it's fast and it's $1 more, but I don't know why.
What is Martinizing?
It's a guy named Marty who washes your clothes. I don't know.
Some Marty?
I don't think anybody knows. I've never had anybody. I get all my clothes Martinized, and nobody ever says, "Did you get that Martinized? Looks beautiful." How does that Martinized you look? Gorgeous.
We got to take a break here. We're coming right back. Stay where you're at. Martinizing. Marty. Okay, we're back. Okay. It's an all-comedy show tonight, you know? It's fun, yeah.
It's a good thing.
Argus Hamilton is here tonight. He is the regular host comic at the Comedy Store in Hollywood. And he's going to be at the Comedy Store at the Dunes Hotel in Las Vegas, December the 22nd at the 25th. And he always likes me to mention that he is a graduate of the University of Oklahoma. Would you welcome Argus Hamilton? Argus?
Thank you, folks. How's everybody tonight? Good? Good, you sound good? Like Johnny said, I'm a graduate of the University of Oklahoma, so you know I'm on probation for something. I'm not flying back this Christmas. I'm staying in Las Vegas to work. And every time I fly back to the Southwest, I always get the same smarty pants California stewardess, angry that she has to fly like east of the 101. And she always gives us that condescending little flight announcement, you know. Attention, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to, land in Oklahoma. Please set your watches back to 1947. Like, it's bad enough we have to land at Oklahoma City's Will Rogers Airport. It's the only airport ever named after somebody killed in a plane wreck. Located right next to the Amelia Earhart Navigational Training Center. And Oklahoma and Texas, it's like the western edge of Dixie, folks, and there's 2 types of people back there. Gracious, wonderful, hospitable people, and good old boys. The world's worst. We're talking patriotic truck-driving drunks. They drive these red, white, and blue pickup trucks with cruise missiles in the rifle rack. Bumper stickers that say, rednecks minus beer equals communism. Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. These are really ignoramuses. Yeah, they have Run, Jesse, Run bumper stickers, but they're all on the front fenders. These are the ignoramuses that were coming on the news last week going, burning the American flag is sacrilegious. Bubba, light that cross. So, I came out here by law, the law of physics. See, America is tilted on a 60-degree angle toward the west, and everything loose rolls to California. And once you live out here, you stay loose. The earth will see to that. You know? The thing is about earthquakes is you don't realize what's going on while they're going on. Remember last month in San Francisco at Candlestick Park? 62,000 Californians went, ooh, we moved and we didn't mean to. When you saw them after the ball game on ABC, they were going, we thought we were doing the wave against our will. President Bush didn't help. He came to survey the damage and accidentally said the funniest thing a president could say while looking at earthquake damage, when Bush said that he was deeply moved. Well, weren't we all? Now, down in Los Angeles, we know how to react to earthquakes. Whenever the ground starts shaking down here, we jump out of bed, we turn on the news, and see if the anchor man is underneath the desk yet. Right? We know. Let's see. It was our reaction to the San Francisco earthquake that tickled me so much, because this was a major disaster. Some cities lowered their flags to half-mast. Military camps played taps. What did we do in Los Angeles? At the Universal Studio Tours, we canceled the earthquake ride. Such gripping compassion. Gee, next time Hurricane Hugo slams into the Carolinas, maybe we'll cancel Splash Mountain. Next time we fail to overthrow Noriega, so much for Pirates of the Caribbean. The point is, this is Los Angeles, California. If you've got a disaster, we've got to ride for it. That's the point. That's right. That's right. Yeah, your tragedy is our amusement, you know. Yes. Of course, now, we want to welcome you visitors. By round of applause, how many visitors do we have in Southern California? All right? Okay, now, how many Southern Californians do we have here tonight? Let's start off. I want to welcome all the visitors. Welcome to Southern California. Stay in the right-hand lane. Over with the tour buses and the Winnebagos with the Utah license plates. The Ford family wagons with the cardboard that says child on board. Stay in the right-hand lane, or you're going to have child on hood. This is Los Angeles, California. The left-hand lane is reserved for people with things to do. All right? Stay in the right-hand lane. Believe me. There's 10 million people who live in this town, and every one of us is late for a very important meeting. We're all having serious relationship problems. We haven't checked our phone messages in 15 minutes. Every single day we have to put up with smog in the sky, gridlock on the freeway, and worst of all, poor car phone reception in the canyons. Don't even try to make a left-hand turn in this town. Go 1 block too far and then make 3 rights. Now, this is the tourist time, and we're lucky to be tourists in America. The State Department's come out with a lot of warnings about not going places. The State Department just said, don't go to Central America. Well, that place has been all gummed up ever since the election in Panama. Who did Bush send down to monitor the election in Panama? Jimmy Carter and Jerry Ford. I guess Maxwell Smart and 99 were busy elsewhere. Then the State Department says, whatever you do, Americans, do not go to Colombia for Christmas. Thanks for the advice, Washington. They said, go anywhere, but don't go to Colombia. Oh, go anywhere? Okay. Go to Beirut. Walk down Main Street. Yell, Ali, Ali, income free. But don't go to Colombia. Go to Tehran. Walk into a bookstore. Ask for a copy of Satanic Verses. Go to Libya. Pistol whip a cop. Say, where's the American disco around here, Habib? Go to Great Britain, take in a soccer match, insist on front row seats. Go to China, walk up to military headquarters, apply for a student loan. Go to the Philippines, tell them you impersonate pigeons for a living and yell, coo, coo, coo. Go to Eastern Europe, to any capital in Eastern Europe, address a major rally, tell them you will give them $100 million in American aid if they'll just take Zsa Zsa back. But don't go to Colombia. Isn't it just a miracle as to what's going on in Eastern Europe? Absolutely sensational what's going on. Who knew 3 months ago that by Christmas, Czechoslovakia would be in upheaval, Hungary would renounce the Communist Party, and the Berlin Wall would be on sale for $10 an ounce at Bloomingdale's? No wonder Gorbachev had to go see the Pope. He had nowhere else to turn. What could the Pope have told Gorbachev? Hail Mary, full of grace, the Warsaw Pact's in second place. I saw a headline in the paper yesterday that says, East German communists lose monopoly. Well, better luck in the game of sorry. The miracle of '89 is that Berlin Wall coming down, isn't it? It's the miracle of 1989. Because there's no need to fear of German reunification. There's no need to fear of that. Not with the miracle. With millions of East Germans going west and West Germans going east. That's the miracle, folks. That is the miracle. For the first time in history, Germany's figured out a way to invade itself. So George Bush decided it's time for a summit, and he announced that the Cold War is over last Thursday. He announced it 3 hours after launching a military spy satellite over Russia. Yeah, the Cold War's over, all right. Right now it should be over, say, Odessa. And we had the summit in Malta, only 200 miles from Libya. But I wasn't worried about Gaddafi. Ronald Reagan trained him pretty good, didn't he? Remember when he bombed Muammar and his 2 brothers, Larry Marr and Curly Marr? They proved they were stooges. Who else would hide from missiles in a tent? Yeah, we all want to wish Merry Christmas to President Reagan. He just got back from Japan, and it's only fitting. It really is. Because after all, he was president of this country for 8 years. It's only right he get to meet the owners. You folks are wonderful. I'm Marcus Hamilton. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, we're back. Let me tell you a little bit about my next guest. Maggie Jakobson is a young actress from New York City, and a few years ago, I think she got her first break in a show on NBC called The New Show. It was in prime time, and now she's got a starring role in a new picture called New Year's Day, which comes out later this month. Would you welcome Maggie Jakobson? Nice to meet you. Now, I'll be honest with you. How long ago was that? I remember the announcement. Lorne Michaels was involved with that show,
Lorne
right?
Michaels. It was his return to TV before going back to Saturday Night Live.
That's right. It was called The New Show, but I don't remember it
It was fast.
being on too long.
It came and went. It lasted for about a season.
Yeah.
And it was prime time. It was very much in the style of Saturday Night Live. It was
Right.
sketch comedy. And but it wasn't around too long. We had a really good time. I had a really good time.
Yeah.
And some nice things came out of it. It's when I met Henry Jaglom, who's the director of New Year's Day.
Right.
And there's a cartoon company called Rankin Bass that had seen my work on the show, and they tracked me down and asked me to come work for them doing cartoon voices. So I did that for.
You know, that's a
for quite
fascinating
while.
business. A couple of years, many years ago, when we were out here in California, we got a lot of the people who do the voices for the animated cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
And we put them on stage here and put a screen up with what they do. And here you saw these adults, you know, doing to the cartoon characters, and it was very strange.
It's
the old
great.
men would be doing little voices. A good friend of mine, June Foray. I don't know if you know June or not.
I don't.
They've done a lot of them over the years. Now, what did you do? What kind of cartoon
I
voices?
did, I don't know if you'll know these shows. Kids know these shows.
Oh, I might.
Silverhawks is a superhero cartoon that's
Yeah.
still playing around the country. And I did two other shows, one called Mini Monsters, which was about little ghouls who went
Mini
to summer
Monsters.
camp, and something called Karate Cat, which was about a detective agency in the 30s that was sort of run by cats, and I played two cat sisters named Chow Baby and Meow Baby, who sort of argued a lot.
Now, when you do these voiceover, you go in and they actually put the...
No, not anymore.
Right.
Not at least with this company.
Oh, really?
We did it like a radio play.
You just
and then
read it and then...
Yeah, so we would do things. Doing these two sisters was hysterical because
How
they
do
were
you do the
always
countdown?
arguing. So
Give me an
we would
idea
just,
how it would sound.
Meow Baby was sort of like Marilyn, and she thought Karate Cat was quite a dreamboat, and Chow Baby thought he was an idiot. So she would say, Meow Baby would say things like, "Oh, Karate Cat, I think Karate Cat is really cute, Chow Baby. I don't know why you give him such a hard time. I think he tries really hard, and I think he's really, really cute." And Chow Baby would say, "He's an idiot. You know, he's so dumb he can't even keep a thought in his head." And they would go back and forth like that.
A grown adult sitting around talking like this.
It was fun.
It's a great way to make a living, though, isn't it?
It was a wonderful living. I had a very prosperous couple of years, and we had a
So
really
you've moved now out to Los Angeles?
Yeah, I've made my way out here. I was born and raised in New York City, so...
That's a big change, cultural shock sometime for people.
Yeah, the driving thing was kind of fascinating.
You drove here?
No, just driving at all, I think, is a big leap.
Did you drive in New York?
Never, no.
See, in New York, people don't understand that. Out here, this whole society is all car-oriented.
Yeah.
But in New York City, nobody owns a car.
Well, I never thought I would ever drive, actually, when I was living in New York. I figured, well, there's no need. I'll never learn. I don't ever have to learn, and I probably wouldn't be able to do it. And my New York driving instructor also thought I probably would never be able to do it. And he was...
Did you start in New York?
Yes, I learned to drive in New York, or sort of learned to drive in New York, and he would sit to the right of me and say, "Make the next left, make the next right, make another left, look in the glove compartment, look over your shoulder, look in the mirror. You didn't look in the mirror. I did. You did. I did. You didn't." We would argue like this forever. And he did not want me passing the test.
Yeah.
He did not want me moving out of New York. He just sort of was invested in my staying, so... On the day we went down to take the driving test, he took me on the East River Drive, which he'd never done before, just to shake me up before I went down to take the test. And we're driving, and I'm white-knuckled at the wheel, and he says, "How many people were sitting in that van?"
How many what?
"People were sitting in that van." And I said, "What? What van?" He said, "The van, the blue van." I said, "What blue van?" He said, "The blue van. You didn't see it. Pull over." So we pulled over. I was like, what is it? What is it now?" And he said, "You didn't see the blue van. There were 6 people sitting in the blue van, and you did not see it." And I said, "I didn't see the blue van, and can we just go?" And he said, You are in more trouble than I thought. All right, let's go. Go on, you know. And I drove down to take the test, and I passed, and I was very happy. He was not at all. And I flew out here about 2 days later and drove straight into a parked car with 2 people sitting in it.
You're kidding.
So, but I've gotten much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's different out here.
It's different.
But it's just, if you miss the turnoff, though, sometimes, you know, you'll be in Ensenada, Mexico.
Hey, I'll keep going for 2 or 3 hours until I feel comfortable getting off and turning around.
So
you know?
the new picture is called what now?
It's called New Year's Day.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful picture, I think. It's directed by Henry Jaglom, and it's a movie about a lot of people sort of facing pivotal change, and it all takes place on New Year's Day, which is why it's called New Year's Day. And my character in the film is based on, or a lot of her life experience is based on my own life experience, which is very much how Henry works.
Yeah.
And